So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're jumping back on the 106 engine. As you can see, Gary has ran in and started straight away because he loves 106s so much. That's just true. It's very true. Anyway, we are going to disassemble the 106 engine and gearbox. We're going to take the gearbox off the engine today because I want to make sure we're putting everything back on that is nice, if that makes any sense. So we're going to check the clutch, we're going to check the gearbox, all the bolts, all that sort of good stuff. Now I want to make sure that we're doing stuff properly on this channel. I understand there's a lot of people out there like, oh, I wouldn't do this and wouldn't do that, but this is the way we are doing stuff. So we're going to split the engine down, start taking stuff off, clean it all down, make sure the bolts are right, make sure I'm happy and Gary's happy with how this thing is going to go back together. So let's jump on the engine, start splitting it down. So we've just started pulling bits off. And how many bolts are on the gearbox? Well, there was a few that were there, and then there was like the rest of them that weren't very happy. Most of them were, I'm gonna say, loose. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why we're taking everything apart, just to make sure everything goes back together tight. Very, very worrying. We were just chatting actually, and someone that, you know, Gary knows, the gearbox what came off. Yeah, of the actual engine. It's rattled itself off basically over time, and yeah, that's not what we want, because that's not a video that I ever want to do, is the gearbox falling out of the car. So we're going to make sure all of those bolts are happy and in the car. As well as doing that, we are going to clean everything down, but now the engine's out, I can actually assess how much either damage, because I think this engine, or at least the head gasket, has been done in the past. I can just assess what's going on in here, but mainly to clean everything down when we get to it, because as you can see over the years, a lot of this is just disgusting inside the actual engine bay. So we'll do that on a later date, is actually pull all of this out, block everything up that needs to be blocked, and really pressure wash all of this back. Get all this cut off as well, because obviously we're going to have to change these parts. As you saw from the previous video, not very happy bits. Look at this, the rust is bad, but I think already I might have a set of these on the way, the actual metal arches. If not, please hit me up if you have any leads as to getting these panels for the 106. I have someone that can do it, I just need the parts. I have found a few that can actually import these bits, but I'd rather obviously find some in the UK a little bit cheaper. But yeah, let me know if you do have any parts. Obviously assess the clutch while we're here as well, because, you know, you know, all that sort of stuff, yeah. Should we replace it? That's the real question.
If you get an all decent, then you'll be easy to replace. Yeah. You ain't got to worry in the future, I think.
That might be something we have to do then.
They're not that expensive, are they?
No. Right, we'll assess the clutch. If it's out, you might as well, I suppose, yeah. Because there's no point in putting all that back in and then me smashing the hell out of it and then, nah. Not bad though, no crazy damage or anything with anything.
There's no shaft.
No play in the shaft, nice. That's all free and nice. Good, not too bad. Considering this has 150,000 miles on it as well. Not bad. They're not tight. Now, I did see some comments in one of the last videos as to why I had brought in help from somewhere else. Now, I will point out, like I have pointed out through the whole time of me being on this channel and running it, I am not that mechanically minded, if I'm honest. I can do stuff, I do try my hardest, at least I'm having a go, but with engines and stuff, I'd always like to bring someone in that actually knows what they're talking about. It's just one of those things. I would prefer it, you guys would prefer it, because I'll only get called out for doing stuff wrong, regardless. So, that's why Gary's here, because he knows what he's doing, and although I'll take bolts off, I'm not really sure engines, 106s, learning curve and all that. groove in there, isn't she?
It's not down to the rivets yet.
Yeah.
Springs are alright.
There you go, guys, for everyone out there that wants to know what the clutch looks like inside. There she is. So yeah, assessing the clutch, obviously if it's out you might as well change it. So at this point I'm going to plug fydapparel.com again. As this build is getting increasingly more expensive, I want you guys to remember that this all runs from what I do for a living, which is fydapparel.com, the brand and the YouTube channel. So please head over there, grab yourself something nice so I can put some more clutch and that in 106, because obviously we came here to do a head gasket. Now the whole car's the part of the clutch is out. So we've cleaned the engine back as much as we can. I'm really happy with how it's come out, actually. It's got back to the original sort of colour of the engine, so very happy with that. All of the grease and stuff is off there. What I've also done is actually gone into the engine bay, and as you can see it's coming up really nicely. Obviously we are going to get rid of these bits, they're going to be cut out, but I did want to clean all of the muck and horrible oil and everything off them, just to make sure what we're actually dealing with is these bits that are rusty, so all of this and stuff, so it's not on the frame. Where as you can see it is lovely. It is, you know, not the cleanest, don't get me wrong, but we are happy there. Just gone through the back bit as well, just cleaning various bits up and cleaning this side up as well, just to make sure all of this, like where the engine mounts to, is happy, it's not too rusty, and yeah, quite happy really. There's not a lot more rust than what we've already found, which is a huge bonus. What we're also doing today is taking the front suspension, or as much of the front suspension off as we can get to, mainly because I want to completely, as I've said before in many videos, completely change all of this. I want to put new shocks, new springs, discs, brakes, everything. I want to redo the whole of this and paint it very nicely, so all of that is going to be done as well in the not so distant future, but obviously concentrating on the engine. We have stalled out on the engine today, mainly because we haven't got the parts that we want. The various other things like the head gasket and stuff, we needed to pull off and actually get the proper head gasket number from. I think there was 4 different variants of the head gasket when we were actually looking, so I wanted to make sure we were actually buying the right one. So we have that coming in, I think it's 2 days. We've got 2 days until the head gasket actually gets here and we can start rebuilding the engine back up. So there we are, guys. That's as far as we're going to get today. Engine block is completely cleaned down. We're waiting on a few things to come in, head gasket and various other parts for the rest of the engine, and we'll start sort of building it. The engine bay is completely clean again, just said. More to find the rust that isn't there, which is very nice. And we've got this side off as well. We will carry on the other side in the next video. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I did see a lot of comments last time, relatively negative, which was a bit of a shame. Not really why we're here, so please keep the positivity up in the comment section, because that's what it's all about. We're, you know, enjoying a French car here, so keep the positivity alive. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't. Again, check out fydapparel.com. We have a new couple of released items on there for you guys to go and have a look at. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.